All right. Hopefully all is working and we're live and the show can begin. I think we're good. Hello. Um I'm joined by Mudkip apparently. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
But yeah, obviously the setup's a little finicky here, but that's because we're going worldwide today, you know. Um can't have too many of us cringe Americans on my show. We got to branch out. So, um, Mudkip, who who are you and where are you from?
okay.
It's a
Guess
good
I
bit.
should
It's a good
start.
bit.
Okay, hello. I'm Nacho from the main Nacho series. That's not an actual series, but I like to storm algorithms like that. I'm a speedrunner, of course. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be here. I mainly run Sonic games, uh, platformers. Uh, I, here and there, like I also run a few Kirby games. I really like Kirby as well, and somehow I fit the criteria for being an indie runner, speedrunner. So that's great. But yeah, I do mostly Sonic. And since you say we're worldwide,
Yeah.
I'm from Argentina, the country of asado, gauchos, caballos, uh, empanadas, and all of that.
Yeah. It, it's cool that, the speedrun community really is everywhere. I'm sure there's a speedrunner in almost every country, and a lot of them, have their own events here and there. Obviously, as American, I'm a bit spoiled, so I'm more interested in the stuff that are other places that I couldn't more easily attend. Um, yeah, I don't know if they have much going on down there, but um,
I mean, we have like our online marathon because
mhm.
like the community here like is not big enough to have a offline marathon. Also, the country is like very big according to stats. Top eight biggest country in the world. So yeah, it's very hard to find a place.
Fair.
But we have our online marathons, the Mars Marathon Argentina, the speedruns. So basically, it's Argentina speedrun marathon, but we go for Mars because name in Spanish, of course.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, we we usually have it like once a year. We use it to have this in between of the year marathon where we went for different thematics, but the end of the year we normally go for uh, whatever, like main event. We go wild.
Yeah, I mean, online events are still sick. I mean, I'm glad they exist and that there's a lot of them because it gives so many people a chance to showcase their talent everywhere. There's always something going on. And again, there's especially on the Wingus, I'm hoping I never remember, but like not only do they have all these events, but like they even tell you what language an event's in, so you can be like, this one's Spanish, this one's French, this one's whatever, and I don't know, it's cool. Again, worldwide speedrunning, it's sick.
Now you actually met a lot of people by just being in the community. Like I know we normally talk on English, but because that's a universal language.
Mm-hmm.
But I met people from Korea, from Japan, from Filipinas, Europe, North America, Central America, even. So I remember talking with people from Brazil. So that's huge.
Yeah, yeah, they've got some stuff going on there for sure. And they took over some, they take over some leaderboards here and there. They
Yeah.
when they do that, game's at the top of the page for a while. It's fun. But yeah, anyway, I guess that's the worldwide shtick. Just thought I, you know, drop the lore bomb for that. But anyway, now we can do the lore of you because that is the point of
Yeah.
the show, I think. Um,
Yeah. Okay. So my
so
lore or how science. I changed my name. I would like to call it the my adventure of my life.
okay,
uh, yeah. So yeah. I mean, I need to commit to my username at this point, and I really like it. So yeah. Um, First of all, I before being a speedrunner, of course, I need to start with video games. So
mhm.
I for- remember I was like 4 years old, probably five or more or less like in between that range. And my dad uh, managed to get a Sega Genesis or Sega Mega Drive, depending from where you're from. And yeah, it started like that. Thanks to my dad, he brought the console and some games, and there it was, my first video game ever, Sonic the Hedgehog, and that explains pretty much everything from that moment.
Yeah, I mean, I have a similar upbringing with Mario, so you always remember your first
Yeah,
game, and then you end up speedrunning it forever. But
and,
it's cool that it works
of
out that
course,
way, nostalgia and all that.
from that moment, you just say like, "Oh my God, it's blue! I go fast!" And also in that moment, on TV, there were airing Sonic X, the Sonic anime, so I was just wild with Sonic when I was a kid.
They knew how to market him, that's
So
for sure.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, like fast forwarding, just a couple of years later, I got a PC, more Sonic games, a lot thanks to my dad again. Sonic Heroes, Sonic Mega Collection Plus, Sonic Adventure. My dad is like was the basically the one that introduced me to video games in general. And my first interaction with speedrunning is quite something funny. So I was like 9, 10, probably 9, 10, maybe 11. I don't know because it was a long time ago. And I was playing this game Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. I wanted to 100% it, and I really not good with games with big maps or interconnected maps that are non-linear. So the first thing I did was searching on YouTube, and at that moment, this thing was new. The Kirby and the Missing Mirror 100% tool-assisted speedrun. I didn't know what a tool-assisted speedrun was. I just said like, okay, this has 100% of the game the and the name of the game. I didn't know English. I was just silly little guy that only talking Spanish. And then I used that task to assist Theron as my 100% guide to complete that game.
Hey, I mean, it works.
It worked. I managed to complete that game. I was just clueless about how then. Fast forwarding, of course, in 2015 I found a channel that I would say is my biggest inspiration, and if it wasn't for him, I won't be a speedrunner. Channel is Critical Seed, a speedrunner of Sonic. I saw his Sonic Heroes run when I was 14, 13 years old, and it was huge. Like, dude, this guy is sick. I want to do this, but I didn't actually do anything. And then 2 years later, I saw the first GDQ, my first AGDQ event via Twitch, AGDQ 2017. And then I just decided I'm gonna be a speedrunner because I would like to be there someday. Uh, yeah, first game was Sonic Heroes for PC, two different versions compared to console. But since that very moment I finished my first run, then I kept going. The rest is history, as they say.
hmm Yeah, once you hop on, you're stuck there forever. That's what I've learned.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's a good
yeah.
thing to be stuck
I
on, I guess.
yeah. But in resume, thanks to my dad and Sid, I won't be like enjoying this hobby because I don't know, it's very fun. The thrill of trying to go fast in a video game, but also not competing with yourself from the past, like showing yourself how much you improved over the time, or also like having these little competitions with friends, like, oh, I can do it better than you, no, I can't do it better than you, and just like that.
Yeah. I mean, it is that competition that drives it, and whether that's again with yourself or with others, and it's all like friendly competition too, right? So it's like more, healthy, at least
Yeah,
what I've
in a
seen.
healthy way, of course, because sometimes you need some other people to push you off your limits,
Hmm.
to make you go further beyond.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, well, you're competing, but you're also collaborating, and like it's a team effort to help everyone pursue a goal, and that sense of community is cool. And then again, it's worldwide, like I keep bringing up, because it doesn't matter where you are in that community, they will help you. And I don't know, even if
Yeah,
there's a language barrier or something, figure it out. Because again, like
a little,
obviously English was not your first language, so
like a little bit tangent here. I know English just because I wanted to talk with Sid in the chat and not being like weird about it, and that's the very reason I can't talk here right now.
I mean, I think that's sick, right? Because of speedrunning, you like learned a language. Like,
Basically, yeah.
I don't know. That's cool. Like you're making an inspiration for, and again, that's a hard skill. I haven't learned another language. I'm lazy. But obviously I speak English, so I'm like lucky in that way, I guess, but yeah, I mean, it's cool that because of the community, you're like pushed to not only, you know, achieve stuff in gaming, but like you can achieve actual life skills, like language. I don't know. It's something you
I'm
wouldn't
talking
really
about
think
life
of
skills.
on a surface level, but when you dive in, it's like, oh, there's a lot speedrunning helps with.
Yeah. Talking about life skills, I actually ended up being very good with my hands thanks to speedrunners in the matter of cooking.
Oh, okay.
like, like I I see it like cooking is a speedrun. It's very much like a speedrun, just that you have a big auto-scroller in between.
I have seen those burrito
you know.
speedruns. I get it.
Yeah, yeah, but when you have to make something from scratch, of course you need the out. You are going to see through the entire auto-scroller of putting the food in the oven.
Yeah, speedrunning has not helped me with cooking yet, but you never know. it it all comes to us in different ways, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But back to the video games. Now I've certainly seen my share of Sonic runs. I'm more familiar with the Genesis era, and then I've seen a little bit of like the of 3D stuff, but I'm a little less familiar with that myself. But obviously you've done pretty much everything. So,
Yeah. I do classic Sonic. I do adventure era Sonic. I do modern Sonic. I do boost game. I do 2D games, 3D games, and even I believe I did a little bit of a spin-off here or there. Any version, like I remember, like I right now I have a Wii, but I also run a game that is ported to PC at the moment. So like, yeah, you might say I do a little bit of Sonic.
just a tad. I mean, obviously I browsed the speedrun.com profile, and not only was there a lot of Sonic, there's a lot of good Sonic, like, high placements. It was like, whoa. That's a that's a lot of games to be good at Sonic, let alone uh
Eh, it depends. I don't think myself I'm good enough because I run like the PC version of Sonic Heroes. Yeah, nobody except for me touched that, but
if it counts,
at
it
the start I
counts.
feel like wow, At the start I feel like, oh, I'm alone here, but then I remember that, well, I'm alone here, so why not being alone but being good at the same time?
Yeah, there's what, handhelds, console, just actually everything. Um, so the first one was Heroes, you said, and then I guess what
And then from
did you
there,
stick to that a while, or what made you branch out more?
I I stick a lot with Heroes. It's the game I always come back for, like, commitment. This I would like to say, like, this is like weird love-hate relationship I had with Heroes, because it's one of those games that you have fun, like playing casually or even like just doing meme runs because I feel like doing a run. But then it's one of those games that is very punishing, it's very grindy, and you need to lock in, and I really bad at locking in.
I've been there, and by been there I mean I'm always there. But
One of the reasons also, like, I know I have a Wii now. Uh, I have a Wii now, so I can actually play the bigger version, the better version, the one that everyone likes. But my main problem is this thing.
mm,
I know people really like this controller. Personally, I don't find quite fitting because just this entire section makes me have a meltdown.
fair. Yeah, I mean,
So I just prefer to stick my PC gaming with my controller, my Xbox or PS4 controller. I used to play even Heroes on PC on keyboard at some point.
mhm. Yeah. I haven't used the gaming controller much, but it is a good casual controller, I think. But obviously, I've never speedrun a game with it, so I can't speak on that front. But
I mean,
it's interesting.
for a game that you have to use basically every single button. Uh, Personally, for me, it's not comfortable for me having like just the A button at the center and everything else around it when you have to use everything, every button at the same time.
Hmm. Well, again, another thing good about speedrunning is you don't have to use it. You can play on PC with whatever you want, and it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
There's leaderboards for it at least, so
Yes.
it's a legitimate way of playing. And even if it wasn't, you can still do it.
Yeah, I also remember, like, I did. Yeah, after Heroes, I of course get a lot with Heroes, try to find another game. My second speed game was actually Sonic Adventure. I remember at that time I was playing Adventure DX with keyboard, and I wasn't too much in the community and all, but my biggest achievement in that game is like jumping out of nowhere, getting top 10 in Tales Story with keyboard, and yeah, like at the moment I was just the only guy with keyboard there, and it was fun. It was very young at that moment as well, so I don't know. I still feel nice about that moment. Of course, the game and the players improved way a lot, so now currently I'm very low on the leaderboard, but never a, it's not really about how you place in the leaderboards. It's about having fun, of course.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly impressive. So, what, keyboard world record, right? You can technically say.
Yeah.
Make it sound cool, right? Got to get the clickbait in there.
Yeah,
But
of course.
world record speedrun. But yeah, so this was still quite a few years ago, right?
Yeah, and actually, it's like between me learning how to play Sonic Heroes and then me knowing that I have like a big limit on stamina to say something about how much I can go for a game. Like, I don't usually run very long games. I stay between the 1 hour mark to 2 hours at max. Of course, I have my silly runs, my silly. Everyone needs to have one of these because it's one of those one and done. I will never go, and that are the plus 4 hours run, the 5 or 6 hour runs.
Yeah, I haven't dealt with something that long yet. I'm very much well, obviously a short category runner. as most of the stuff I do average like 10 minutes. But um,
Like, oh, I know, I'm also short category runner
yeah,
because like Sonic, these Sonic games, you have some games that are very short or categories that are very short because, for example, in Sonic Adventure, you have the shortest category is 6 minutes.
yeah, yeah. I know the other characters aren't quite as fleshed out as Sonic, obviously, in terms of content. So plus, I mean, that game is broken. I've seen it, so I'm sure that helps push the
It's
time a
broke.
bit. But
It's broke. It's broken in a very fun way.
oh yeah, I mean, the stuff I've seen, um, it just looks absurd. And then like every version's different too. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a fun game to watch. Um, but yeah, and then I remember I caught part of the what was it? It was a Sonic Adventure All Stories Relay. This was a GDQ, I think 3 years ago now. So a
Yeah, it
different
was a
person did
GDQ run.
each. Yeah, a different person did each story, so you could really see the variation in how long each takes and how different they are.
Yeah, that was a very sick run, and also going back to the Corvette speed running, uh, I was commentating that run in the Spanish stream because there is
Oh.
because if you didn't know, GDQ has a lot of the main GDQs have restreamings
Mhm.
in other languages. I normally go for to commentate the Sonic runs in the Spanish stream for the Spanish community. It's very nice. You can see people like jumping from the castle side, or people even like wanting to commentate. You know, they also put their own effort to it. It's it's very nice. I remember that also um, because at some point we had an event in Spanish from the Spanish community. Is the Speedrun Español. We had the main event that was very big. That at some point it got a Japanese restream,
Ooh, that's
and
cool.
of course Spanish and Japanese are very different languages.
Yeah.
uh, One of the staff had the idea to share to to put like an a spreadsheet where the runners can add their own notes to help the Japanese speedrunners and all of that. And that's something that I believe it's still used up to this day on the main GDQ events for the streamers, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
I don't know if they asked you or they show you because I know you were in GDQ or if you saw so at some point that hey, if you can please write some notes for our streamers so they can
Mhm.
comment on your run or something like that.
Yeah, actually I've done English restream commentary for Speed-Ons, the French event. GDQ did like an official thing for them, so um obviously again I was lucky where the runners I knew spoke both French and English, so they wrote the notes for me. And then so obviously they commentated in French live, and I was also familiar with the games I did, so I was able to relay the information well enough. But yeah, I mean, restreams again also sick again, just having the accessibility of multiple languages so anyone around the world can keep up with the content. So like not only can you watch events from around the world, you can watch an event, a specific event, and have like multiple language options. So again, just really cool that that accessibility exists everywhere in the speedrun community, especially with how large it is now. Like every event has something. Again, it was a big deal, the speedons thing, especially with how big that one is, to have like official GDQ re- restream on the official channel with English commentary. And then again, so many other events have something similar now. So
Yeah,
obviously you're quite active with the Spanish restreams of GDQ Sonic runs then. So you've seen quite a bit of
you
them.
know, I mean, of course, not just Sonic. I sometimes pop from games that I like. Like,
Oh, okay.
I remember I never did a speedrun of Hollow Knight Silksong, but I just did the commentary for it in the Spanish stream because I really like the game.
Fair enough. Hey, I mean, they allowed it, so there you go. must have been good.
Yeah, it must have been good, like just at the like 2 or 3 hours before the run started, just becoming an expert on the game.
Yeah, I mean, anyone that steps up at all, it's cool. Like, obviously, it's going to be harder to find, especially if, well, that game I guess is a little more popular, but a lot of speedrun events will have far less popular games or like passion projects, and someone in another language probably won't be familiar with it, but someone will still step up and try to tackle it. So I don't know. Again, cool sense of community. Apparently, that's going to be the theme today, worldwide community. But I don't know. I do genuinely find it fascinating and like awesome. So I do like talking about it because
Mm,
yeah, you again you've had your experience
yeah,
with the Spanish restream, and
yeah,
I've had now experienced like English restreams. So um,
yeah.
it's a
I
it's a
remember
cool
also was on
experience.
the speedrun, so
Oh, I think my connection's a little shoddy right now. Or is Discord being weird? It's hard to tell sometimes. Well, well, 1 second. Let me. Time to troubleshoot. What happened? Apparently, Discord doesn't like me having calls from other country. Kinda cringe if you ask me. Because the stream's still up, isn't it? I think so. Yeah, so this is Discord. Well, one moment. And we're back. Um, hopefully that was seamless in the recording. Thank you OBS for having buttons. Um, all right. Hopefully tech issues will, relax a bit. I've certainly had my share of them in, if people remember, early episodes when my internet was a pile of crap. But anyway, where were we? I know I was,
yeah, yeah, talking about worldwide.
yeah. Yeah, worldwide community. The topic of conversation, the theme of the episode. No. Yeah, no, I know I had just finished talking about just restream, like language restreams are cool. That was
Yeah,
really where I was leaving it off of.
I was saying before my before problems started that I also participate on the speedruns, the restream that I was saying that it was funny. It's the funny idea that the Spanish speakers goes and invades the English restream.
Yeah, I don't know. It's cool again. Like each language has their like own community of speedrunners, and they'll interact even though there's that language barrier, right? So
Yeah,
it's cool. Like you obviously took the time to learn English to better communicate, but not everyone can or does that, and they still like find a way. So I don't know. I just like that. I like it gives you that feeling of world peace that may never come, but you can protect. You could at least for our community, it feels pretty good.
yeah, you can pretend that at least. Of course, nothing is perfect, but you can pretend that it's, hey, this guy from, I don't know, from Russia is helping me how to go fast in Mario 64.
Yeah, like I don't know. Again, it can be anywhere, and yeah, people are just part of the community, willing to help, willing to do whatever. Whether that's just communicating or like restream commentary or making events accessible. It's cool. Uh, that's all I
It's cool,
really got
man.
to say about it. Is it's cool.
Yeah, I think we can actually. I don't know if we can extend this topic, but also
We're trying.
we'll try. But no, I think that's enough for the topic. So yeah, I believe this was just a tangent of me saying that of me like talking with my third speed games and yeah,
I've always
I
said
do
the show
remember I
runs
was
on tangents, so I mean,
yeah,
we're
it's
sticking to
fine.
the script.
Yeah. So after Sonic Adventure DX, I just keep going with Sonic games. Actually, my biggest Sonic game for one moment to another that I really didn't know how it exploded. So, uh, the Sonic community is also big enough. You have these fan games and stuff. So I started running a fan game of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Sonic 3 and Jet Life Revisited. And as you said before, like even if it doesn't have leaderboards, you can also do speedruns of it, and so
Hmm.
I did. I played that game. Uh, it didn't have leaderboards, and ended up requesting it on speedrun.com, and it started just like that. Came there. I was still trying my best to to learn English. It was my first time being the moderator of a game, so I didn't know how to make leaderboards. Since
Hmm.
the game was very huge, I needed to think about it, like the best set of rules, blah, 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 blah. Uh, it was such a massive thing for me at the moment. Like it a responsibility even when I was also I don't know, I just picture like it was this really big thing.
Hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
I've certainly moderated big leaderboards. I understand it's hard, um, especially if it's a brand new thing that people are
yeah.
interested in, right? Like the leaderboard just showed
Yeah.
up, so it's like,
I mean it didn't like start really big, so it's a Sonic fan game. Of course people is going to go more for the official ones than the fan games.
yeah.
But in the end, like just slowly, little by little, I just kept grinding on my own. My first initial thought was I want a free world record, but then like I remember someone just popping with an actual run, like for a full run, and I say, "Wow, this thing! Oh my God, this game is broken! I didn't know you can do this!" Like it was amazing to see, and then thanks to that person, I was one of the moderators for the official Sonic 3 Knuckles uh, leaderboards, and thanks to him, we just like started to shape the leaderboard a little bit better, like set the rules about what to do, what not to do, completely get rid of one of extra categories I made because the idea is supposed like this Sonic fan game, the Sonic fan remaster has a lot of things that the original doesn't have. Why keep why keep a category that is just mimic the original? If people just want to play the original, like the original, they will play the original. They would want to play something brand new. So thanks to that logic, we just shaped the leaderboards at that moment. And yeah, people like most casual players since they prefer playing on this fan game appear with a individual level up here and there, and it's nice. At some point, we actually in the Sony community, we actually held a tourney there uh, when that was the game biggest pop off. And also, I remember the game also got showcased the in a main HDQ event during the online era, when the JDQ was online. And my biggest memory of this was we 2 days before of the event we discovered a big thing. What the heck is this? We didn't know you could do this. What the heck? The entire community at that moment start joining to VC, and we started loving it. Where you can push it. In the end, it was this thing where you can. But if you, thanks to the in-game menu added in this remaster, if you restarted the stage in one specific frame during the transition to the next thing, you will repeat the first act, but the game will think it's the second act.
Oh. That can't
It
be
was
good.
really, yeah, it was very big because, for example, in some Act ones in the game are very short, like under 1 minute, but the Act Two then is 2 minutes. Of course, you will love to do the Act One again instead, because even if you complete the Act One as Act Two, the game saves the progress, and you can just go to the main menu and load into the next into the next zone and progress in the game. And that was just discovered 2 days before the main run,
Mm,
and that was amazing. That was an amazing recap from that. Uh, Yeah, everything from there went scaling. I just decided I still moderate the leaderboards. It's not as active as before, but it's still having runners there here and there. But so so moved with at some point I moved from Sonic games to explore new horizons with Kirby. I already told at the start that I was a Kirby runner because Kirby is one of my other favorite franchise. Um, at that moment, I feel like in the Sonic community, I don't know if this happens in the Mario community, that you feel like everyone knows each other. Like, oh, I know you. You are the guy that runs, for example, oh, GTA, you run Super Mario Bros. For the NES, but you are also know, for example, a very famous runner from Mario 64. Like everyone is close. I don't know if that's like that in the Mario community, but in the Sonic community, we just like it's very there's a very high chance we bump into each other, even if we
mhm.
don't run the exact same games.
Yeah. Yeah, the Mario community is a little more spread out, I think. Um, Not to say there's absolutely no integration. There certainly is because especially like 2D and 3D stuff. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's there. Just there is also a bit of separation. So I don't know exactly how it would relate, I guess.
Because, for example, I remember that some folks from the classic community, I found them in the Adventure Era community, but some people from the Adventure Era community are also in some modern games communities, and it's like, yeah, we are like pretty much likely to bump into each other because Sonic, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I don't know. It is kind of interesting because like obviously a lot of the 2D classic era games are similar in a lot of aspects. Um, but like Sonic obviously has its eras like 2D, 3D, or I guess adventure, boost, and storybook, and modern, and whatever. And those games can kind of be grouped together and be similarly, but like grouping them as a franchise, a lot of them are very different. So um, it is interesting that a lot of people will like do multiple stuff because I'd like to think it's pretty different, like a
yeah,
whole
like
new skill set
every game
despite
is
being the same franchise.
every game is like very different. For example, I know Sonic Frontiers runners that also run Shadow Generation, Sonic Unleashed, but it's like those are completely different games compared to Sonic Frontiers, because Sonic Frontiers is like more it's still linear, but it's more open with the choices you can do.
Hmm.
But for example, but they also run games like Sonic Unleashed that are linear, but they also have this warhog gameplay that is completely different from any other Sonic game. And then you have people then the same people also run Shadow Generations, the 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 Bowser's Fury part of Sonic Generation.
Yeah.
So and the game is like has its own speed tech, and it's like, and also for some reason I know that people that run Shadow Generations also run the original Shadow the Hedgehog or even Adventure Era games, and you can like stretch there because I know runners that run Adventure Era games also run classic games. It's like it's much more like branch between, like it's impossible to know if a person is stuck into one simple area. Because, for example, I know this runner that runs the Sonic Advance games, the handheld games. But I one thing I didn't know at all, this this runner also runs Sonic Colors, a game that Sonic Colors for the Wii, and a game that is completely different from everything I saw him, and it was like, what?
It's funny because I know there is a Sonic Colors handheld version, which is very much like just Rush 3, right? So
Yeah,
it could almost be the same, but nope, they went console, and now it's different.
yeah. It's that thing that you're very probably to bump into each other the less you expect it.
Hmm. Yeah. I know a lot of Mario runners that usually stick to one game, or like only 2D, or only 3D, or only modern. So yeah, I'll assume Sonic has a little more overlap then, which is kind of interesting. But especially you'd assume like the Sonic community is technically smaller than the Mario one, so there'd be like less chance for overlap, but there's like more. I don't know. Obviously I don't know how true my words are because I haven't run the numbers, but just from my experience, that's what it kind of seems like, and I don't know, just interesting. Communities work in
Uh,
different ways, but we're all doing the same thing at the end of the day.
yeah. For example, one of things that uh, I yeah, so was like in a Kirby. For me, it's like I didn't see anyone familiar in the Kirby community when I started learning my first Kirby game. So it was like I opened the doors to a completely well, not open doors. I took a rocket to a completely different planet. Like for to say something, for example, like the Sonic community is a planet on its own that it has different different countries that are the Sonic games themselves. Like you have the country of classic Sonic, you have the country of modern Sonic, you have the country of spin-off games, you have the country of adventure era games, uh, stuff like that. But they are still on the same planet. You can interact with each other. When
Mhm.
I saw the Kirby community, I didn't found anyone familiar, so I feel like I took a rocket to a completely different planet with its own countries.
Mhm. I've actually never pictured it with that analogy before. I like it though. It makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, but it was fun because one of the things I really like about it is how welcome everyone is usually when you are learning a new game or you are learning something new. The Kirby community, it wasn't different. Like people say, like, "Oh, I recommend you this tutorial, or you can watch this run. If you are not planning to do this risky strat, you can do this. I recommend you this game to for first starters. Also, these are the rules for emulator, for console, yada yada. Like they are very welcoming, and it's amazing.
Mhm.
It happened a lot with other communities as well. For example, currently, right now, uh, thanks. I also am in the speedrunner because for some reason I fit that criteria uh, with Pizza Tower and Hollow Knight. With Pizza Tower, uh, like the community there was super cool. Super cool to show the times that they well I would say that six they were very supportive when you just post a time. And one of my favorite like comment moments was when I showed them a very good time of a category, uh, and I told them that I didn't use this save state tool to learn the game, and like two or three people were like very surprised that I was learning a game without save states tools, and it have a decent a very good time on it, and it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly disadvantageous to not have a practice tool. Um,
Yeah,
but I'm glad they exist though because it makes like entry points and even people that have been doing it a while just makes consistency building so much easier. And makes it easier for people to even just start. So shoutouts to practice tools.
Shout out to practice first. I normally don't use them, but because this might be like very, very embarrassing to say, but I don't know how to install mods in games. Uh, I, for example, uh, recently I was learning Hollow Knight, and there is a save state tool, a debug mode tool, show you the hitbox. I had to learn without them because I didn't know how to use the mod even or how to install it, and it's like very out of place. And I prefer I had that, but in the end, it is what it is.
Yeah, anyone can practice however they want, and clearly you found some success with it. So if it works for you, then it works.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, back in the olden days, even before my time, but actually, I guess
the
our
speed
our
demos are
entry
guys.
points are similar times. So back in our time, back before us, even,
Yeah, the
practice
speed
tools didn't
demos are
exist
guys
at
era.
all. Is my point. So I mean, everyone at some point had to start with nothing. The practice tools are a
And
bit of
then
a more modern luxury.
you can just start making the path for the future people, for the future runners.
Hmm.
That's something I also did. For example, in Sonic, in the handheld, the Sonic Advance games, Sonic Advance 2 and 3 specifically, there is only one runner there. Shout out to Kirby Masta, that is very consistent at it, that is very active, that he started with barely anything. Like, so he just decided to optimize as much as he could the game because he liked it. He really liked the those games and decided to push its limits on his own, and that helped people like me to in the moment to learn those games. It was very cool to have resources because not having resources for video game for speedrun is like uh, very much frightening to say something. I I was there before when a game again I was expecting release it and just decided to yeah I this game has a timer. I really enjoy it. It's short, it's sweet. I'm gonna start speedrunning it. But how do I speedrun something that doesn't have resources and nobody seems like caring about? Well, I have to do it on my own.
Hmm. But I
Yeah,
mean,
thanks to
every
Kirby, I
community
ended up
started with someone that had to start on their own. But that's just how life works, I guess.
yeah, thanks to Kirby Master, I ended up learning Sonic Advance 2 at the point that I can beat every single character with just in less than 30 minutes.
Mm.
And I also added my own contribution to it. I made tutorials for the game, like a quick tutorial of the how to of the fastest routes, or even my a recent tutorial because I want because this category. So Sonic Advance is very famous for one thing that is the getting the true ending. The special stages you have to get seven special rings that are hidden during the stage, and you have to finish in the same attempt the stage in the same attempt. The thing is that the level design of Sonic Advance 2 doesn't allow you to do backtracking. So it's like there's only one correct route for getting all the things to get into the special stages. So I added my little contribution there, my grain of sand to help. That was a tutorial of how to get all the emeralds easily with easily in the game. But that's again, it's just a result that happened for me enjoying running the game and the help of Kirby that saying that so he doesn't is allowed to say something, but no, it's like he doesn't work alone, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, well, hopefully, at least you want to wish that every community that has like one person will, eventually become a community of two or maybe even more. You always
Yeah,
want to not be alone in something, right? So, and
yeah,
a lot of the time you never are, because as more people get into the hobby, it's there's a greater chance that they've played this other thing, obscure thing, or not as popular thing, and greater the chances of that, lone wolf person playing the game, it becomes a community. So, yep. And again, I think that's an important part of speedrunning, because obviously you can battle yourself, but I think it's more helpful to battle with other people and then cooperate cooperatively contribute to the game. Words are hard, man. But
yeah. But I don't know if you have like a rivalry because I know like you are one of the goals of Super Mario Bros. Like I saw you being
oh.
on GDQ and also being mentioned on other videos, but from video essays. So I don't know if you have like a rivalry with someone, but of course in a good way that like, hey, I got the world record this, but then the other person like comes 1 week after. I say I beat your time, but then you go a few days later and say I beat your time, and it just keep going.
I,
Like
I've
that.
been involved in these situations before. Um, yeah, the important thing about them is to have a positive mindset going in, where it is friendly, because I know way back when, um, I'd let it get to me in a more negative way, and that's not healthy for, first of all, mental health, or like game progression reasons. But um, it's something you learn over time to get better at, I think. Again, it's a skill learned through speedrunning and doing it more, is just a healthier mindset going into it. But yep, I've definitely experienced stuff like that firsthand.
Yeah, I mean just like some some places like having a rival makes you improves you yourself.
Hmm.
It happened to me from time to time. I remember when I had a friendly competition with a friend in Sonic Mania. I also run that game. Wow.
No, really.
Yeah, in Sonic Mania.
Name a
So
Sonic game you
when
don't run.
so,
Might take quicker. Anyway.
uh, we had a friendly competition where we just like went into this category of getting all the emeralds. Who could get the sub 1 hour faster? And it's like we went like pushing each other. He was learning the game. I was already experimented, but I was so rusty because my last time at the moment was like 2020, and he was running on 2023, 2024, and we just like went pushing each other. He and eventually like there was thing like, okay, I got this time. Now it's your turn to beat it, and it was it was funny. Of course, in the end, it ended. I got the sub one first, but then of course he got a better than me. But in the end, I was just happy with the sub one, so we just keep it that way.
Fair. But I mean, that's a good example of like having that sort of like friendly competition. It brought you back to a game you had put down for a little bit. Sounds like you came back to it to achieve a goal time. So it helps.
Yeah.
There's data to
So
support this, and plenty
yeah,
of it.
but one of the things that I enjoy the most from this, uh, I believe, it's of course the show side. I you already heard me talking a lot about marathons and
Yeah.
artistry and all of that, but I really love taking parts on marathons.
Hmm.
It's one of the things
I'm addicted to watching marathons, and even more addicted to going to them.
yeah,
Clearly, but
real.
yeah, but yeah, I actually took kind of a, for the past couple of years, I did like, I put online marathons on kind of the back burner. But I'm trying to get back into it, because there's so many of them, and there's so many chances to just showcase your stuff in online events, and they all help various causes and stuff. And I don't know, it's just cool that it all exists. There's always something going on. And then again, There's something going on everywhere that anyone can participate in because it's online. So,
Yeah, shout outs to internet.
shout outs to
It
internet.
can be it can be good sometimes. So yeah.
It's rare, but we can find the good in it.
Yeah, I really like to take part on marathons. Mostly because uh, at some point I wanted to. I already said at the start. I just really would like to get into a main Kingston Quick event. Of course, no money, but that's not the point.
Yeah, it's
So
always possible.
online marathons are really nice. My first marathon was in 2018, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Um, yeah, okay. Suddenly I say that and my back started hurting. Uh,
Don't worry. I started around the same time you did, so anything that hurts you hurts me just the same.
uh, sadly, I was with a. It was my first marathon. I was with a completely different mindset at that moment. So I didn't know very much how to talk, how to interact. At some point, that I even had a. Even my first marathon run was a race against another runner that was way better than me at that point. And I didn't talk that much, so we had to bring a commentator there.
Shout outs to commentators.
Yeah, it
I
was
cannot do
shut up.
marathon runs without them, and I have done, but I'm not good at solo commentary. So just a just a quick shout out to commentators.
Shout out to commentators. They're very cool to be. They're very cool for like you throw them, you info bomb them, you throw them the bomb of the all the information overload into their brains, so they can do the job of talking about the game.
Yeah, dump all your knowledge into them so they can be the ones yapping, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. It's great.
Yeah. Uh, then and then I remember losing that race so badly, but it was fine because marathon run. And then as time kept going, I ended up like having a different mindset, and it's like it's just a one attempt, but it's not about just one attempt to do a good run. It's a one attempt to do a fun run to see something enjoyable.
Mhm,
It's not that it's not you are not going for a PB. You are going for a show.
mhm.
It's a showcase after all.
Yeah, this isn't your general competition. This is entertainment. This is a showcase. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a completely different thing.
Yes. Yeah, I just kept going, taking part of marathons, getting used to it in 2020 the during that era of the year
Mhm.
of the human history.
Yeah.
You know what happened in 2020. I took I took into my first English marathon. My English at that moment was very bad. Like I remember struggling to flipping this switch between Spanish and English that it took me so much to get used to. Now it's just natural.
Mhm,
Uh, but it was cool because it was like also my first charity marathon, so it was like I even if I didn't donate or something like that, I feel like I was doing something for it, just like taking part of the marathon as a runner. Like
mhm,
you know, don't know if it happens to you when if you manage to enter into a marathon or maybe you are able to donate, but you are putting your time to make something enjoyable to watch.
mhm. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I don't donate to marathons all too much. Money's hard sometimes, but I do feel like honored that I can help out in some way. Um, Even if it's just attending the event and like I just do commentary or something like, or you're just there. You feel like you're doing something, even if you can't contribute like financially directly to the cause. Like I don't know, especially if you like doing a run and it had like a donation incentive or something, and it raises a certain amount of money. You feel like you like helped with that, right? And it's not like that was all me or anything, but just like, help to make that happen and you can feel good about it. Because
Yeah,
charity is cool. Support charity.
charity.
Anyway.
Yeah, support charity. If you want to take part on a marathon, go to
Mhm.
oingles.io and check a marathon. And if you want to take part of it and it's charity, sure, go ahead. You are also doing something good for just showcasing your interest into being
Mhm.
part of it. Or at least that, or I don't know if I'm coping. I'm feeling that I'm doing something good.
uh, um, I mean, GDQ submissions are open right now. Everyone can
Yeah,
even submit to that.
yeah. I wish it were me, but I don't have money to travel.
That's fair. That is the hard part. Well, I can't speak on your behalf on that. I feel your travel costs would blow mine out of the water. So, but
I
I
mean,
mean, hopefully someday, right? I mean,
it's a completely different country, like
yeah,
going from the south of the world to the north of the world. Like
yeah,
that's kind of
yeah. Plus, I can't exactly recommend visiting the country at the moment, but I think GDQ still does like an online block, right? So
yeah,
it's always possible too. Like I'm glad they like from the COVID era they kind of kept a little bit of the online stuff there because obviously not everyone can travel, right? So it's nice to have at least a block dedicated to people that can't make it there in person but can still have their run showcased.
yeah. That's really good to have.
Mhm.
Also, uh, at some point, I remember like already being very comfortable with being on marathons, already knowing that hey, it's a show. I just have to do it nice. Um, the solo commentary. I remember like when I didn't have a commentator, there's the solo commentary. I tried to I know it's you're just like you're just playing a video game. It shouldn't be that mentally taxing. But then you remember you're not just playing a video game. You're playing that video game fast. You need to know what you're doing, and also you have to be talking about the video game, about what you're doing, being conscious of what you say at the exact same time. And it's and I really underestimated how mentally taxing is doing all of that.
It's hard. Um, I think anyone can do it if they really want to, but it is certainly difficult. It is not something you can just go in and do. I don't think like it's something you need to prepare for at the very least. Um, because yeah, I
Yeah,
remember my first time on this going on like a big stage and it really hits you like 30 minutes before you're like, oh wait, this is like a real even if it's online, like you notice the viewer count sometimes you're just like, oh wait, that's like a real number of like people.
yeah,
Oh
yeah. And
no.
I remember like taking part on my first GQ hotfix when the numbers were 4 digits for the first time when I was just used to at max 3 digits capped at 300.
Yeah.
But then I suddenly saw 2.5K and I froze.
Yeah, I mean, that's normal. I tend to think most of the speedrunning community is more introverted than extroverted. Obviously, that doesn't go for everyone, but I think a lot of people can relate to having a little bit of GDQ anxiety or any other event,
Mar
marathon
Marathon anxiety.
anxiety. But
For me, it's like I don't want them to make fun of me for being bad.
eh,
Or
there used to be a larger problem with that, but with the way I think GDQ kind of moderates their chat now, you're not gonna really see that, which is helpful.
but
Plus, the people whose opinions you should care about would never do that to you anyway.
yeah, exactly.
So,
In
um,
the end, I don't know if
but
it's
still, yeah,
I'm
anxiety is anxiety.
more than anxiety. I just feel like even if for me, even if with this year amount of time, marathons like next year, it's me. Next year it's going to be 10 years of speedrunning. After that, it's going to be 10 years since my first marathon. Um, in the end, it's like even with that much time of experience, at least for me, I don't know how about you or about other people. I still get nervous, mostly because not that I need to do a very good time to showcase that. Mostly like I sometimes I don't want to say like running the marathon to for the lack of a better term or a better phrase. I don't want to make a run boring, so I always try to have high energy commentary, very nice, having jokes here and there. I
Mhm.
started with the idea of having recurring beats, like recurring gags or jokes. I remember even in commentary for streaming, I remember a Super Meat Boy run, and for some reason I was just like I just had this recurring gag of me talking about like if 2012 was the year, if we were in 2012.
Take us back.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. No, like if the year we were at that moment was 2012, like oh you remember Minecraft, that game that came out that last year.
It's a good bit.
It- yeah, of course. Um, and yeah, like something to make the run like funny.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, even that's hard. Like, just, doing commentary. Every time I've done any sort of live performance, I'll say, because that can encapsulate both playing or talking, um, I'm nervous. Every time, without fail. Usually it dies down, I like to say, within like 2 minutes of actually everything starts, because you kind of like flip the switch in your mind and you kind of just like lock into the moment. But like
Yeah,
beforehand,
you are in
it
the
is always just awful for me. Always. I don't know how good of a job I do at hiding it, but I promise it's there every time.
zone.
And I know we're not alone here. That is a very common thing, even to people that have done it 20 times. Like, it's still, every time is a new thing that you have to prepare for. So it's always going to be a little nerve wracking.
Yeah, and then when you least expect it, you're already in the zone. Like it's
Yeah, right.
coming, everything in autopilot for you, and you're just like, I'm just having fun with my silly video game in front of thousands of people. Nothing to worry about it.
Hmm. Yeah. Again, like a couple minutes in, yeah, you reach the Zen state, right? And then you're fine. But uh, you never start there. Yeah, I guess is the point.
Yeah,
So,
even from this podcast, this is actually the first time I'm in a podcast. Like, I know I have this joke of me going to every single place to in streaming. Like, oh, I need to commentate on this stream. I say to myself to commentate on this tourney, on this event, on this yada yada. I want to be with a friend in his stream. Like, I will do anything except stream on my own channel.
well, this doesn't help, I guess. Oh well.
I'm not being, I am beating the allegations.
Well, don't worry. Surely the self promotion here will do something. I don't know. Who knows? But I don't know. I've certainly had some dry spells of streaming. This has been the one constant, actually. If nothing else, I have this podcast to fall back onto. But yeah, I mean, even just
Yeah,
streaming to yourself can be hard, right? Like, just
yeah.
doing the usual, what you should be the most comfortable with, can be hard to actually do. Like,
I remember watching this meme of of the jester and the king. Like, but I saw that speedrunner version. Like, there was speedrunners in a marathon, the crowd, and of course the speedrunner is the jester,
Yeah,
and the crowd is the
obviously.
king.
That is that is a dynamic.
Yeah, it also applies to streaming.
Yeah, yeah, it's hard. Um,
Yeah,
Now, what
the
is
game.
nice with speedrunning is you don't have to always be entertaining 24/7. It's nice to be for
Yeah,
marathons, I guess, but because that is in general just
yeah,
like a
sometimes.
hard thing to do. But what's nice about streaming is I've certainly done it this way where I just have game footage. I don't have a mic, I don't have a camera. I just play the game, and I mean, you can speedrun that way. You don't have to treat it as like entertainment. If you're having fun with it, you can do it however you want.
Yeah,
Whatever
usually
makes
when
it.
I stream my speedrun attempts, it's just like I don't want to click the record button and fill my disk, so I just have this free free storage on Twitch.
Yeah.
Treating like you are just recording another offline attempt of your runs.
I've done my fair share of offline runs. Not so much anymore, but when I was when I first started and I was really into it, like, oh yeah, offline only, baby.
I do them because I'm the total opposite. Like I'm very lazy to click the stream button.
Yeah, I mean, it again, it's hard. It can be a lot of setup. I know for me it's a lot to set up. Like just for this podcast, I have to launch OBS, set up my mic, set up my camera, set up my light, set up a guest, which obviously I struggle with sometimes. Um,
Yeah. Shout outs
like
to shout outs to the people that actually came in close to your podcast. Like they are the goats.
it's true. Like when you've done this for what episode is this? 162, I think. That's a
Yeah.
lot of episodes. It gets a little harder to find people, but yeah, the community always comes in clutch. You love to see it, but um like even this podcast where I just sit and talk to people and usually they do most of the talking. I more do am the listener. Like it's still hard. Um I managed to do it at this point. I just feel like I have an obligation, but I mean, I can admit that my regular like speedrun streams have fallen really off the past while. Um, and yeah, it's just it's a mental investment that can be hard to have the mental energy for. I guess is my point. Um, yeah, the podcast thing's a little easier, but like speedrunning, I mean, that's a lot. That's physical and mental drain. Um, Maybe not as much as some other more physically active sports, but I mean it still exists. Like we can complain about it. We're allowed. It's true. It's just true.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, also imagine if you speedrun and you have a lot of spectators like there, an active chat. You also have to add the chat interaction in there, and that's more mentally taxing.
Yeah. I mean, it can be a hard hobby. And again, it's going to be various amounts of difficulty for everyone. Everyone's different, but it can definitely be hard. Um I speak from experience, of course. But yeah, as long as you're, you know, mentally well and you still find enjoyment in it, um, you'll find a way. So,
Okay, I believe it was a tangent. I was talking about marathons.
again, the show runs on
uh,
tangents. It's fine. I'm happy to talk about whatever as it relates somewhat to speedrunning. So far, so good.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. When I realized that doing solo comps was like very, very not my thing. That there are people that are buoyed for it by via practice a lot.
mhm.
You know, the, you know, science. I'm sorry, community representative today.
Mm.
There is this very well-known person. There's very well-known runner, Arcade, that he goes for solo comment and he does it so well that it's just it feels like you are watching uh not only a speedrunner but a showman.
Yeah.
It
Um,
keeps your attention through every single moment he's talking and playing at the same time. And it makes you think, how does he do it? This,
yeah. I mean,
of course,
I've had him
when
on
you are
my
on the side
shows,
of
so I I remember. But yeah.
yeah, I wanted to try to replicate that. Like sometimes from time to time when I don't feel commentators, I will try to go for my own and do my energetic. Of course, not everyone can be someone else.
Hmm.
It's fine, but yeah, but I try my best to give it my own sauce.
Yeah.
But yeah, the solo commentary they mentally taxing a lot. Of course, when you're trying to be energetic or you're trying to catch people attention via talking and gameplay, it's hard. So normally what I do actually now is try to involve friends with it. People I really like to hang out, like even if they're not the speedrunners that I know, like as you mentioned before, like when you dump the information overload into their brain so they can do the japping and you're the one playing.
Hmm.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah. I mean,
I do that.
it's hard to play
I
and
do
talk at
that
the
with my
same
friends.
time. People, again, like Arctic, are gods at it. I'm not. I can't do that. I'm bad. I need to like lock in at one thing at a time.
Yeah, I do that with my friends at some point. It's like I try to involve them because hey, they're my friends. They're cool. I really like to hang out with them, and I want they also take part on a hobby I really enjoy or I really have a passion for it.
Mhm.
Of course, sometimes when I feel like, okay, I need actually someone that knows the game very well, because one thing is having fun, but also one thing is also wanting to do a nice showcase of the game itself. So of course you got a people that is very involved with the game itself.
Mhm. Yep, it's a balancing act, but you always find what you're comfortable with usually, especially over time, and yeah, you can find your ways to make things easier. Yeah, I know a lot of people even with like just PB attempts, they'll like maybe be in a voice call or something, just something to you know distract from the monotony of it all. But
Of the
yeah, well,
monotony of I failed the first jump. I'm losing 0.001. I'm gonna reset.
yeah. Hey, I mean that means more to me than you might think. So, but yeah, I mean, yep, we all find our ways to perform, I guess. Uh, it's a thing, but
That's the thing.
it's a thing.
Uh, but
Um,
also like my like really thing I really, as I said before, I really enjoy marathons, but my main thing is for a good showcase. Also showcasing myself. This is like very pretentious. Like this is very uh trying to find a deep meaning on something that is not really that deep. Like for me, speedrunning is a form of art because
mhm,
it expresses yourself in a matter of how you play a video game, like how you do strats, what strategy you're going for, but also on the deeper meaning of what you are doing is the work of a community itself that was before you. Like they carved a path so that you are walking on, and at some point you are also going to grab that path for fruit to people. Like it's a form of art of interpretation,
mhm,
uh, inspiring people to do their own. As I was inspired by someone else, I would by doing these marathons. I would also like the idea of inspiring another person to do their own runs themselves. It's like this thing of passing the torch to say something.
mhm.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
how like in these pieces of arts, like musicians that have a band, a rock band or whatever, they inspire people to start their own bands, and those own bands, if they get X if they get into it and they like them, they're going to inspire other people to do their own music, and it's just like something like that. Same with drawing, same with artists and drawing, other performing in stage, actors, singers, stuff like that. Like speedrun, I see it that way that you can inspire others because you were inspired by someone else before you, and that person was probably inspired by someone else.
Hmm. Yeah, I certainly agree with the it's an art form, and I have like data to back this up because um like moderate when I would moderate Mario 1 back in the day, sometimes people would steal someone else's run, but the keen observer, I would be able to recognize what one they stole just by looking at it because only this person plays this way. And then you go back to confirm, obviously, but you're like, this is how this person plays. Like everyone plays their like even as something as simple as Mario 1, where you're literally tying each other everywhere and doing the exact same frame perfect inputs. The parts that aren't that, you can tell kind of who's playing just by the way they're playing. And
Yeah,
then
you have
you
this.
take that
So
to other
I assume you
games and it
have this
just branches out.
Sorry. But I assume you have this thing that hey, this runner doesn't do the flag point glitch in 1-1. They actually do it in 1-2. Hmm.
Yeah, like yeah, I'm talking about like not the hard trick areas, but
I mean, it's just an example. Like for example, I
yeah.
don't know. For example, I do. I sometimes ball IL strats in full runs because hey, if you're afraid to die, then don't be born.
Okay.
No, it's just an exaggeration. But you know, it's like
Jesus.
as you say, everyone has different style. I like to just when I feel like okay, this run is dead, I'm going to do IL strats, or like, or this is the very early of the game, I'm going to IL strats.
Mhm.
This that's my play style. Like first one, first 5 minutes of run, individual level strats, run is dead, individual level strats.
Mhm. And yeah, that's like a more
Like,
obvious example, like a very obvious like playstyle choice that is mainly your playstyle choice, right? So that's like your art form in the medium of speedrunning. So, yep, there's data here is my point. It's art. We're doing art here. We're artists.
yeah. I mean, for example, Kirby Masta, the world record holder of every category in Sonic Advance 2, uh, eh, there is like one specific IL strat to like say 1 or 2 seconds in one of the stages that he doesn't do, but I do. Like that is like the gap, the play styles. You have like someone that plays for consistency and someone that plays for screw it, we valid.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, everyone's different, and everyone approaches and plays their game differently. But that's what's cool. I mean, you can watch like any given runner and watch the same run, the same category, but it'll still look kind of different. I don't know. Keeps me interested. Clearly.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
like I assume it, like of course in Mario 1, as you say, it's a slightly different. Like I don't know what you found about it. For example, like someone just out of habit jumping into a place for the fancies compared to someone just not jumping there and instead just going straight forward.
Hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of swag strats in that game for sure. And I know the people that never do them and the people that do arguably too many of them. So it's all just what you want to do.
Maybe Swag won't get you a personal best, but it still looks cool.
I've always said swag is better than speed, especially in showcases. Like,
Especially showcases. Yeah, maybe because you were doing something swag, you're going for you XD skip that doesn't save you anytime, but it looks cool. Uh, you are inspiring someone else because okay, that looked cool. I want to do it.
Hmm. Like if they knew how boring it was, they'd never be interested. But if I do it this way, yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, uh, yep, speedrunning's cool. Man, I keep losing
Inspiring other
track.
people is cool.
But I'll blame that I haven't mentioned on here. I got 3 hours of sleep last night. I'm trying my best.
Oh no
I
worries.
love working on Sunday mornings, which is every Sunday, but for me. But
I
the
I
Sunday
completely feel
Speedrunner
you because
Spotlight must not die. It's important. It's in the
I
name.
completely
It's got to be.
Sunday
Anyway,
is the day of the sun or something like that.
um, anyway, to try to find somewhere else to go here. I mean, oh, hold on. I have a bot. Be gone. Anyway, the bot distractions are not helping my case
Yeah.
here. But I mean, surely there's some other games we haven't brought up yet because again, you've run
Oh
a lot of them. So
yeah. I mean,
what have we not
you can
talked
pick
about?
one. You can pick one. I can totally talk about it.
I can
I'm a
pick one.
speedrunner of those games. Of course, I know what I'm going to talk about. Usually, I mean, if you check my SRC profile, I believe you said you checked it. Uh, there is like one big consistent thing that I usually run completionist categories, like
Mm,
in Sonic, get all the emeralds, or do all the stories, or 100%, all stuff, all stages, that kind of stuff, rather than just any percent, because I really like completionist categories. Like, I
okay.
feel weird by just beating the game normally. Like,
Mm,
I want to do something else.
okay. Um, obviously you've run a lot of the Sonics. How varied are the completionist times? Like,
Oof, they they are so different, like from one to each other. For example, in the classic Sonic, you have the special stages. In Sonic 1, that was my recent speed game. I have funny. Sonic 1 is my first game ever, but it's my currently the last Sonic game I learned how to speedrun.
mm,
uh, all emeralds in Sonic 1 is very, very unforgiving
mm,
compared to just any percent. You are not allowed to miss anything in all emeralds. It's like, I don't know if you saw the categories for the Donkey Kong 64, the 100%, like you must hit yourself to submit to this category. It
yes,
feels like
I
that
remember
sometimes
that.
it feels like that sometimes with all emeralds because the requirements for getting all the emeralds is in the special stage. And the thing is, the special stage you need 50 rings to get into get into them.
Mm,
Uh, the category is timed RTA minus time bonus. So you skip the thing of I go too fast. I need to wait 8 seconds because I went too fast. Uh, so you are just uh, erasing from reality those 8 seconds of waiting. But the thing is, you can't go with too much rings because you are going to lose time.
mm,
You need the 50 exactly 50 rings more or less to don't lose time. Then of course you don't need to but you must not miss the giant ring.
mm,
It's really easy to miss the giant ring because it's at the end of the stage. You already hit the goalpost. You have like 3 seconds to react to get into the giant ring. If you didn't hole in one, if you didn't hole in one into the giant ring, and you must not get hit by an enemy if you are going to a stage where you go for a special stage. And there is this weird routing that there is stages where you go for there is normal acts, you go for a special stage, and you go for just normal beat the game strats. Like for example, in Marvel 2, the one that is very common that even the official Sonic accounts did a myth for it. The Marvel one zip where you beat into 11 seconds.
Hmm.
For example, in Emeralds, you don't get an emerald there because it's faster to just beat the level that way.
Mhm.
And the most important thing, you don't have a second attempt into the special stages. If you lose, you lose. That's it. Uh, you might try again, but you need to repeat for the next stage. And at some point of the game just stop giving you special stages to enter.
Hmm.
So it's it's a lot compared to any percent or beat the game that is just go beat the level. Yeah, thumbs up.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a little bit of the completionist categories. I'm usually more of an any percent viewer. Depends on the game. A lot of the Sonic games, especially like classic Sonic, with how glitch heavy a lot of them are, I tend to focus more on the any percents. But and obviously those are far more popular. But yeah, the
Yeah,
I just can't imagine. Yeah, like obviously for the games to enter the stages, you need to have the 50 rings, and it's so easy to get hit. It's so easy. And if you do, it's
yeah.
just
Uh,
GG.
and then you compare that to another classic Sonic game that is Sonic Knuckles. Actually, like doing the All Emeralds run is, at least personally, I find it easy because, of course, you have Super Sonic, and Super Sonic is faster, jump higher, is immune to everything except being crushed or falling to a bottomless pit. But it's like the run takes more time because, of course, you have to do the special stages that are different. Instead, you need like, but the routing is fun because you need to find the fastest way to get into the hidden giant rings, and those giant rings send you to the special stages. And finding the fastest way to get the seven chaos emeralds, you get into supersonic earlier, and supersonic is faster than normal sonic. And the fact that you are immune makes you worry less about stuff like bosses or hidden enemies or taking damage. But again, longer because special stages, but easier at the moment of gameplay because you have supersonic.
Not in
In
Sonic
Sonic
1,
Mania,
though.
for yeah, that's the one. Sonic Mania, for example, I know that the good ending for Sonic and Tails is way faster by a lot than the bad ending for Sonic and Tails.
Hmm.
Like it's 4 or 5 minutes, I believe, compared to bad ending in Sonic Mania.
That's interesting, actually, because like every other Sonic game, the good ending or all emeralds version is far slower. But yeah, where does that come from then?
Yeah. For example, in Sonic Mania, that time is because actually, since the special stages are not this kind of auto scroller, or it's like you can actually go fast in the special stages and you don't have to do
Oh
tricky
yeah, the
stuff
like
or just
zigzag
get
strat
the
thing.
the bunny hop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like get the emerald in 5 seconds. And Super Sonic also allows you to do really sick stuff into the game normally, uh, like thanks to the hard jump or being invisible and the bosses also, or stuff like you transform and then clip into a wall because there is a platform moving and
Hmm.
you just jump there, like stuff like that that Supersonic allows you to do that makes normal Sonic not being able to.
Hmm.
That's and way different in Dual Emeralds for at least in the classic Sonics
Yeah,
when you have Supersonic, because there are classic Sonics that don't have Supersonic like the 8-bit games.
yeah. It is funny with the way Mania is structured that the good ending ends up being faster, especially by so
Yeah,
much
even
because it's so backwards compared to the games that it's based off of.
yeah, even if you have like an extra boss, it's still fast.
Oh yeah, true. There's also an extra boss at the end. That's crazy. It's that much. I mean, I better understand it because I forgot like the special stages are so fast. With again that like bunny hopping strat, but still like that's time lost to even do that still, and then you make all that up plus minutes and then some with just like the supersonic. I guess it's wild. And then
Yeah,
obviously it plays a lot differently.
yeah. For example, there is a big skip in Hydro City, however you want to call it. I don't want to splashy
The
fountain zone.
drama has
Act
started
2.
already. No.
The into the splashy fountain zone Act 2,
hmm
where if you are playing as solo Sonic, there's an strat where you get the bubble shield that makes you bounce on like a bubble, well, like a basketball, uh, that makes you bounce like that. As solo Sonic, the strat is you wait for three enemies to spawn, and then you go and bounce to them to skip an entire slider section where you just have to go for a long time part of map and says like 30 seconds to say a number.
hmm
Yeah, with Super Sonic, with Sonic and Elements, you turn Super Sonic, do a spin dash and do a jump, and that's it.
Nice.
With Solo Sonic, you have to set up enemies to spawn. You need to be precise with your bubble bounces into the enemy so you can carry a lot of air to punch. And Super Sonic just fume.
Yeah. Mania is fun. I haven't played in a
It's fun.
while, but um, I've watched a little bit of speed runs about it, and wow, just such a. It's actually a pretty polished game. Obviously, there's some stuff.
O-
Uh,
Obviously, there's some stuff that speedrunners are going to go all of their way, but it's not. It doesn't affect the casual gameplay. I remember people like normally choosing speedruns to say the game is broken. I think they're fun.
there are some broken stuff, like especially in the final zone with the ball where he orbits the ball and then jumps out and then you pause buffer through walls and stuff.
Yeah.
I think they.
Yeah, I
I,
mean,
I
there is
remember.
no way a casual runner, there is no way a casual runner would do that,
Yeah,
but speedrunners, hmm.
yeah, yeah. I'm going back on like the speedrun stuff, but I think I remember like they found a way to skip the Mean Bean Machine boss, right? I think I remember that
Yeah,
being like being found. It's like, whoa.
uh, yeah, that's a mini skip because it's actually very tight, I believe. And there is a version with I don't know if it's with Knuckles or with a partner with something like this, but I know that you can actually soft lock there
Ah, yeah.
if you
Yeah,
like if
that's
you don't
not
know how
good.
to control Tails there as your partner character, you can actually soft lock.
Hmm. Well, it'd be like that
Yeah.
sometimes. I've noticed that in a lot of Sonic games where, especially S3K, has a lot of those kind of tricks where if you mess it up by one frame, you soft lock or something.
Yeah, and you have to restart the console, and it's like
Yeah.
some games actually like some Sonic games are very mean in some aspect. For example, uh, Sonic Frontiers, my favorite game of all time. I will never stop saying that I really love Sonic Frontiers. It's it saved my life to completely exaggerate the stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, for example,
Got me
Sonic
worried.
Frontiers, just the first 10 minutes of the run, you have a lot of things to know. For example, you need to play on if you're playing on PC, you have to don't push to a version so you can unlock an ability early. That's it. That's good. Then, thanks to locking that ability early, can skip the entire tutorial. Then there is a way to skip the entire. You skip a lot part of the tutorial, and then you can progress because you soft log since you already unlocked a skill you're supposed to have. Uh, so you have to find your way around it. Then there is like a moment of the game where you have to fight an enemy, and then beating an enemy, then completing an stage, the world unlocks a bridge, and there is an invisible wall for it. Then there is already like three different ways to skip that invisible wall. One of them is very mean because you need like it's invisible wall. You don't see it, of course. Uh, and then after that, you have to go to route getting experience points to unlock the abilities, and then to do the last skip of the first island, the first 10 minutes of the run. It's a frame perfect trick,
Of
and
course.
in the optimal way to skip a gigantic invisible wall like that. This trick is like it's called Hedgehog Space Program that makes you that if you do a certain inputs in front of an enemy with having a skill unlocked, it will send Sonic flame very high. Like if it's frame perfect, this has to be in the first frame of the animation, and then you have to do that to get into the boss arena. You need to also find the trigger that is invisible. Um, yeah, you fight the boss, but also you are nerfed because since you skip the whole tutorial, you don't have the ability to wall climb that is normally in the game. So you need to climb the shadow of the Colossus kind of boss without having the wall climb. And that's just the first 10 minutes of the game.
Hell yeah. That's
Yeah,
speedrunning.
that's speedrunning for you when you're trying to optimize.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't looked into Sonic Frontiers at all myself. Um, I don't think I've even really seen any speedruns of it yet. I know it
You should.
opened GDQ. I mean, you were probably involved in restream comms,
Yeah.
right? So you would know. But I remember that because that was like the first time I had a GDQ run on state on like a live stage. Was that event that opened? So I remember that event pretty well. Um, but obviously it's the opener, so I saw a portion of the start. But man, that was 3 years ago now. So hell if I remember. But I mean, that game looks sick. I mean, I'm a big open world nut, and I know that game's a little more unlinear. So,
Funny enough, I like that game because it's not actually open world. I have something against open world games because
mm,
yeah, I don't find enjoyment on being lost. And Sonic Frontiers is like it's a big hoop area where you have stuff to do. But the story progression is linear and I'm so thankful for it.
mhm. Yeah, well, yeah, I am a sucker for open world. If my username didn't give it away, but uh, yeah, I mean, everyone has their genre tastes. Obviously, I don't speedrun open world games, but I mean,
Hey,
you can kind of consider
sometimes
like Mario 64 a little bit more open it worldish, I guess. But the speedrun very much really isn't. You have like your set paths to take. It's more open for like what strategies you want to implement depending on difficulty, but I don't know. For speedrunning, I tend to focus more on like linear things. Most of my good speedruns I'm good at are 2D Mario platformers, so um just depends on the style of gameplay.
yeah, or sometimes you just like you don't have a style of gameplay designed to yourself, and you just go and say this game looks funny and start speedrunning.
Also true. Yeah. Again, everyone's different. You don't even have
Yeah.
to
For example,
speedrun your favorite genres. It can just be dumb bullshit.
you can speedrun out of spite.
Yeah. I'll, I can't say I'd recommend it, but you can.
Yeah, you know how I say that I really don't like the genre of open world maps, Metroidvanias in the record map.
Mm.
The game that started that for me was Kirby and the Missing Mirror. And as I said before, I was so lost on that game that you said the tool assisted speedrun. I'm also speedrunning of that game.
Right. Did you make? Did it make you like the game? Like speedrunning it?
No,
Oh, okay. Well, never
I, I like I
mind.
like I like a speed I like a speedrun the game. The game speedrun is sick because it's like it's it turns an interconnected world map into something linear that I really enjoy. So
Mhm.
I really like that. I don't think I would play that game casually again because I don't like it.
Okay. Let me rephrase then what I was gonna say. It's like it lets you find speedrunning lets you find enjoyment in a game you otherwise wouldn't. Like
Yep,
even if it's you would
exactly.
never like the casual aspect of it, you were able to get something out of it through speedrunning.
Yeah,
That's sick.
totally.
I mean, obviously you think of a speedrunner, you think, they're speedrunning either like one of their favorite games or just maybe like an old like a hidden gem from their childhood, or they have some sort of impact on them already. But I don't know, it's more unique to like I hated this game, so I decided to speedrun it so I could enjoy part of it, and it
Or
works.
sometimes, or sometimes like I know there's some weird cases where uh, people becoming good at the game that they don't like just to shut down the people that say it's a skill issue and just say no, I'm
Okay.
actually good at this game. It's not a skill issue.
That's fair. I've ran certain categories out of spite before. Like, this category is stupid. I have the record now. I'm allowed to say it's stupid. Good times.
That's the realest thing.
Yeah, but I can't speak on a game front. That's just like category extension meme bullshit. So it's a little more like understandable, a little more justified, I think. But it's the best I can relate to, I guess.
I mean it's fun. Like, um, I there is this game I run that I already mentioned it before. Um, I already say that I did my contribution to it. That is Sonic Advance 2.
Hmm.
Uh, that's I like a lot of Sonic games. I really like Sonic games. There is hardly any Sonic games that I don't like. I like Sonic using a sword. I like Sonic going to the the Aladdin story and fighting a genie. I like it Sonic when he was dead and was kissed by a human. But Sonic Advance 2, I just don't like it enough. And this
Mm,
has like this relationship where we just want to beat up each other.
the love hate relationship, or maybe more hate
No,
hate,
it's not even love. It's more like
just pure
violent
hatred.
relationship. Just pure hatred. Like the game hates you, I hate the game. It's completely
Well,
it's not one-sided hate.
hear me out. The hatred of the game, but the love of speed running. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean the game is very sick when it goes well, but the game seems like it also hates being a speedrun, so you can't find enjoyment on it. You can find enjoyment, like of course when it goes well, but then when it doesn't go well, you just want to take a deep breath, close the game, and go for an ice cream, relax,
Yeah.
listen to music, and then when you go back, you open the game again and try it again.
I get it.
Yeah, and actually I became the sign. I mean, it's not a very popular game, but Kirby, that is the other runner, Kirby Master, is the other runner, and I are the ones that are mostly active at it. So we just both get into the agreement of, yeah, I'm the second best runner of the game.
Hmm.
and the second best Sonic Advance 2 player in the world, and I don't even like the game.
I mean, I have definitely heard the stories of people that speedrun a game and they don't actually like it. And hey, I mean, speedrunning can again make you enjoy things you otherwise wouldn't. So it's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
makes you do some stuff that you won't do because I don't like Metroidvania, but I recently learned Hollow Knight, and it's a speedrun that I really enjoy because I never actually touched a Metroidvania as a speedrun before, and I really like it. Also, I didn't touch a hard game before because all of Sonic games are very easy. Let's just ignore the 1,000 millions frame perfect streaks they have.
Easy from a casual standpoint, maybe, but
Yeah, yeah, from that
sometimes
perspective, like,
sometimes
oh,
easy
the
speedruns become
bosses
the
are
or
one shot
easiest
you.
games become the hardest speedruns because they get so optimized.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, it's a game that currently I can't get deep into it because we're talking about marathons and I have a marathon next week.
Yeah, well there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna
Uh,
mention something, but I forgot, so never mind. What marathon's coming up?
yeah, it's a marathon that is. Let me check the name because it's Starlight for the Future. It's a
Oh,
marathon.
yeah. I submitted to that and didn't get in, which is good because I got into PAX East instead. um but I mean,
Yeah, you can't
I've
see
been
it. You can't
Supersonic's one
see
of
yourself.
my longest friends in the speedrunning community. He was episode number 1 of this show, in fact. So, um
That's it.
I'm sure he recognized I got into PAX and just didn't accept me. So, that genuinely like awesome that happened. I'm glad that my absence didn't ruin the schedule. I mean, or I
Yeah.
just wasn't ever going to be on there, which is also fine, you know. Not everyone can get into the marathons. That's the other thing. That's why you got to submit to them all so you have a better chance.
Right. Like you saw that they're open for a marathon that is in Japanese. I don't speak Japanese, but if you accept me, I will give you the best run ever.
Hey, again, another cool thing that bringing back the theme of the episode again. Like I use Bubsy as a good example of this where, you know, I don't think English was his first language either, but I know he can't speak French. I know he's learning Japanese, and I don't know how good his French is, but I've seen him both in RT in Japan in person and speedons in person. Like talk about, you know, even if an event is like based around a certain language or area of the world, they'll still accept people from anywhere. I know ESA has had plenty of American runners and other people from around the world. Obviously, GDQ has people from all over. Usually, uh, it's pretty sick. I think.
Yeah, worldwide. Whoa.
Yeah, worldwide. You
I
know,
have the
keep
I have
bringing it back.
I have this silly goal of me that I have a very short game, anime game, uh, that I run that I started running myself. This game I mentioned before that I started running this game on my own because I was the only one, and
Hmm.
suddenly blew up with the Japanese runners. So I
Yeah.
have this silly thing that I would like to have this game in RTA in Japan,
Hmm.
at least on the online side, because it would be fun.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
you have you have someone that is literally from the complete opposite side of the world running in that, because and I say that because the time difference between Japan and Argentina is exactly 12 hours.
yeah, like literally the opposite side of the world. Um, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of RT in Japan, so I'm not sure if they do online. Do they do like online stuff
Yeah,
in their?
they do online stuff because I saw Super Sonic on it once.
Fair enough. Yeah. I have seen some online stuff now I think about it, but I didn't know like what the ratio with it, like in person to online was. Like I know JDQ's little block isn't a ton, but it's cool that it exists. But I don't know. If the game is popular with the Japanese audience, like you said, like I don't see any reason why, they wouldn't accept it as an online and have like easy Japanese commentary for it. They could probably find someone that's familiar. Um, like yeah, that makes perfect sense to me, and it would be really funny. The complete opposite side of the world. I mean, again, worldwide, we're gonna keep saying it.
Yeah,
It's cool.
yeah, yeah. Same this Kevin with the marathon. Actually, those are the games I have are games that, as I mentioned before, I really like completion categories. So these games are basically the 100% of each game. That is Pizza Tower and Sonic Advance 3.
Mhm.
Those those two games are very punishing because completion categories have this thing of being very punishing. I don't know if you run like say something Super Mario Bros. Warbless. I would say that's the completions category of Super Mario
I
Bros.
mean, that's definitely what I am better known for because I've never had any percent record, but Warpless. I
Yeah,
actually prefer Warpless over any percent by a lot. Um,
yeah. So
but
you will
when
say
you call it a
Warbless is the
completionist
completion
category,
category.
it's less than 20 minutes. So like it's my
Yeah, but
category of my like frame of
I mean
reference of a completion category is not quite the same
it's
as
com-
yours.
I mean it's completionist because you are doing all the stages.
I mean, yeah, I'm not arguing. I'm just saying it's a little shorter than most other games.
I mean even if it's not long enough categories, it's a still completionist. But one thing that I assume you would agree that the completions categories are very punishing. Even
Mhm.
here, for example, in
Yeah.
Warblades, I know it's a little bit longer, but imagine committing a mistake really late into the run.
Oh, I don't need to imagine that. I've done that dozens upon dozens upon dozens of
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, and that's me. And
Mm,
like, you need to learn at least for Pizza Tower and Sonic Advance 3, you need to learn completely different ways to play the stages. Like, I don't know if you played Pizza Tower before, but you need
I
to.
haven't.
It's it's basically a collectathon, and since you are paying 100%, you need to collect all the stuff. And
Mm,
also, it has a ranking system, so you also need to get the max rank in every stage.
mm, yeah,
And
that's a lot.
in in Sonic Advance 3, there is like 10 hidden Chao that you have to collect in order to get a key to get into the special stages. So, but you need to also unlock all the characters to get the good ending. So basically, you are completing everything that the game has to offer very fast, and it's very punishing you don't because you don't have to miss any Chao. You also have to one shot the special stages because you only have one attempt at them. You
Mm,
have to completely change your mindset to play because Sonic Advance 3 operates into a system of partners and characters. So uh, using a lead character and a parent character, you can build your own thing. Um, in 90%, you use like two teams, three at max. Um, you just play like that until the end of the game. But in true ending, you have this thing to for this stage it's better to have this duo for but also for the next stage I have to get this duo, so I have to soft reset here because it's faster, and also it's better to have, and also it's not only faster to have this tool, actually it's slower, but it allows me to get all the hidden chow here and there, and also you also have to beat the game once in order to unlock to set the flag to get the true ending. So you also take that moment to of 4 minutes of credits to of course take a break, and you do the rest of the stuff that you didn't do on the first go. Like it's that kind of stuff that it's different from just beating the game, and it's a lot. It's very punishing if you miss one thing.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't think any of the completionist esque categories I've really done involve like collecting things. It's obviously more like just don't skip levels kind of a deal, but I have found like kind of variants on the formula, like collect all of this item during the run. It's a category extension or stuff like that. So
Yeah, I
it's the
remember being
closest I
bored
can get.
and watching the category, so the category extensions from Reels, and it's oh, there is like literally a collectathon category,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fun.
Yeah, category extensions are sick because it makes you really never stop playing the game.
Oh, oh, this reminds me talking about never stop playing. I remember this installing 300 as revisited. We also have category extension for a fan game. That's cool. Uh, we have this category that is play the same level 8 times,
Mm-hmm.
or you have the step up, play this same level 100 times.
Yeah, we have do 11 any% runs in a row and do 11 warpless runs in a row. Um, I used to have the 11x warpless record, and that took 3.5 hours. Um, that's probably honestly the longest speed run I've ever done.
I
Which,
assume that that's is to get all the stars in the title screen or something,
uh,
or that, or
no,
I
you are thinking
completely.
of lost
Oh yeah,
levels.
super.
Yeah,
Yeah, to
no,
JPEG.
the lore of a like beating the game 11 times is that's how many times you can beat Mario 1 in an hour. Like you can't beat it 12 times in a row. Um, but they just made a warpless variant. Like it doesn't really mean anything. But it exists and I've done it because why the hell not? Um, yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, but shout out to category extension. They will have like the most funniest category you ever seen, and I think like my favorite meme on category extension is, of course, not being mean, but mean in the thing that it's fun to see and something that hey, this is fun but also cool, you know. Now my favorite thing is beating the exact same thing over and over again to see how much you are mentally, al- how much effort you are putting into your mentality of just saying one thing of the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like this category extension where we have to beat the stage the same stage 8 times or 100 times. Born from a runner, Hood 601, that he, at the moment he was learning the game and he knew there was this strat of restarting and repeating the stage. It wasn't frame perfect at that moment, uh, and he kept doing it to see if he can actually complete the game by doing that, like repeating and completing one stage to see if he can trick the game. He did like 10 times uh, before realizing that he was actually losing time. It didn't like serve a purpose. It just nothing, and ended up being a meme. He started like, I'm just going to run this stage 8 times because it's funny, and then with the leaderboards, we got like a category extension and said, yeah, let's make this an official category.
Yep.
The stuff that born from memes and becomes official, I think, is my favorite thing.
Mm-hmm. And there's plenty of those. Plenty of memes.
Funny memes, even.
Yeah, some of them. Some of them not so much. Sometimes there's too many of them, but it's still fun.
Still fun.
Um,
I know, like games with with percentage, like low percentage. Yeah, I don't think personally, I don't find that a full mean. I mean, personally, because The low percentage stuff just scares me. I'm very afraid of of that.
Um. Anyway, to change the subject, are there any games
Yeah,
we haven't talked about yet that you've ran?
I don't know. You pick one, pick one. I
Big one.
could totally pick one. Yeah.
All right. What what's the big one?
I mean, I already talked about Clash Sonic, Sonic Heroes, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Frontiers,
Oh,
Sonic
like we
Advance
already covered
again.
all the big ones.
Yeah,
Okay.
we already covered
Easy.
like my main thing that is Sonic, but I
Hmm.
also run more stuff than Sonic.
Yeah, like the one Kirby game and the one anime game.
Yeah, I have like completely ignore the fact that there is Uma Musume there. Just completely erase that from my from your mind and go into other games.
Yeah. My mind is
Uh,
easily erasable right now. Um, take that as you will. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, is there anything from the games you've done that we haven't covered?
uh, I would say that Kirby. I didn't talk too much about Kirby. Like there is Yeah, it's one of the things, one of the reason I managed to vote a Wii. Okay, no, I think this is more important about the Wii. This is more important about Kirby, because just as a silly little thing, the Wii I have used to belong to another speedrunner that is also from Argentina, and that Wii used to belong to another speedrunner that is also from Argentina. And that way, and that exact same way used to belong to someone else also from Argentina. I think it's very funny that this way I have uh, belonged to three speedrunners from the same country.
It's truly been passed down generations.
Yeah, the funniest thing of all, we three are Sonic speedrunners. One is what doesn't do any. I mean, I won't say that I'm the only one active at the moment, because life hits everyone in a different way. But
Mhm.
I just think it's funny. Yeah, I still have the save runs from these other speedrunners, and think it's funny.
Yeah, I mean,
But now,
that again, that's another cool thing is if someone doesn't use something anymore, they can give it to another runner that could use it. I've gotten some hand me downs of some hardware before.
yeah. Yeah, thanks to that, I want to start like a collection of stuff that used to belong to other speedrunners.
Hmm.
I wanted to try to get a capture card from someone else that say, "Oh yeah, I can give it to you." But then when I say that's to start my collection of things that belong to other speedrunners, he said, "Yeah, I won't give it to you."
Yeah, I used all the stuff I got, just to clarify.
Yeah, I mean, I
Um,
would also, because
yeah.
the one of the main reason I bought the Wii is to not only to play games, Sonic games that I didn't play before, but because there is my favorite Kirby game, that is Kirby Return to Dreamland, that I really want to do a speed run of it. It's one of the sickest speedrun I ever seen, because it uses all the copy abilities of Kirby, and you have and when the 100% run is very cool due to all the stuff the game has to offer, of course. But my favorite part is the fact you use all the copy abilities the game has. You go out of your way to trace a route that is required to get the main collectible thing, and even if you don't unlock like 20 or something, you just the the feeling of doing everything with every doing everything with everything the game has to offer, using all the tools. I really like it, but I can't do the run because I don't have a capture card, and I really would like one. Uh, but instead I also cope with other Kirby games that I can actually run. Like for example, most recent one is I learned is Kirby Superstar Ultra, the remake of Superstar for from NES to Nintendo DS. Don't know if you are familiar with it.
I'm not too familiar with the franchise. I'm not familiar with a lot
Yeah,
of franchises, honestly.
yeah, it's fine. You don't have to know everything about
Mhm.
about everything. I still live under a rock, and there is news of video games that I didn't know they are releasing.
Mhm.
For example, I didn't know they're going to. I didn't know about Cuphead like until it was released. For example, uh, but yeah, Kirby Superstar Ultra is very sick because I feel like something mentally like a different. Uh, there is one thing in Super Mario Bros. That even if something like there is an stage where it has essentially the same ending staircase. They said that is one is essentially the same staircase. I don't know if I can explain myself well. That is one of them is just like only one blocks, only just one block of them, and there is bottomless pit under. But the other staircase is like columns of blocks, but the bottomless pits are essentially in the same ways. I don't know if I can explain myself. That even if something is looks different, it's essentially the same.
I know what you're referencing, yeah. Where
Yeah,
yeah, it's the same platforming section, but they remove stuff to make it look more
like
daunting, but in reality it's just the same thing.
yeah, yeah. And it and even it's like, and that's for Kirby at least. That for example, in Kirby, you have this thing that where you take two enemies and inhale them. You have a mix wheel. You are like shaking. You are playing roulette, and you can stop the roulette whenever you want to get a power.
Mhm.
Uh, in the two games I ran before Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland and Kirby and the Missing Mirror, there is this mixing strats, and the best ability there is wheel in both of those games because wheel is very fast.
Mhm.
But in Superstar Ultra, the best ability is Jet, and you also have to mix them. Also, like even if there is a difference between ability, the theory there is the same. You get two enemies, and you go for the better ability.
Mhm.
And it's kind of cool also because of how the games the games tracks like the thing of copy abilities that every game has a different set of abilities. For example, as I said before, Will and then Jet. But for example, in Return to the United States, it's my first game. I really would like to speedrun it. Those two abilities don't exist, so you have to find another one that is faster, and it's like that with every single Kirby game. You have to find the ability that is faster to move, and it's really funny because essentially every game is looks different, but they also are the same in a way.
Mhm.
That's one of the things I really enjoy about running Kirby, running Kirby games.
Yeah.
They are also very easy. They are also very easy. They're coast runs actually. They're not really that daunting.
Yeah. I know the franchise is known for pretty, you know, easy gameplay for casuals, and then a lot of the games look like they look similar. Obviously there's going to be differences. I can't speak. I haven't played any of them. I should get on that. There's a lot of things I should get on that I haven't. But yeah, I mean, I've seen some cool Kirby stuff.
You can compare it to Mario. Like you have the Marios that are just reaching to the goal, but then you have the Marios that are collecting the stuff.
Hmm. Yeah,
Like they
that's
look
like every
different, but they're
Mario.
Yeah, but I mean
Some of
they're
them both.
different. They they, they look different, but they're essentially the same, you know?
Yeah, like Mario 1 and Mario 2. Lost Levels.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the exact same stages.
It's
It's the exact same game, but harder. Man, what a
yeah.
concept.
There's some like minor differences, but like
Slippery Luigi.
that's as much of like just a level pack as anything else probably. But I don't know. It's definitely its own thing. Can't argue that. And it is hard. All right. Um did we pretty much cover your like speed run history in terms of like games you've touched?
Mhm. Yeah, I would say like yeah. I didn't of course cover every single game because the la the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. As long as we hit the ones that are most impactful to you or that you want to talk about, then that's good.
Yeah.
Um, but I didn't know where any of these games really fell on like when you started doing them. So, what was kind of like your timeline on
Yeah.
what games to do?
So so I actually my it's just like games I feel like I wanted to. It's nothing like it I would say that it was just a natural progress for me. Like, uh, of course, everything started with Sonic Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Then it started evolving with other Sonic games like Sonic Adventure. Then I tried to go different way, but still with Sonic. I didn't want to exit my comfort zone with Sonic 3, Sonic 3. And from there, I just went wild uh, by by just these three games. Then again, wanted to explore more stuff, more things to do, and I started doing this Kirby Neither in Dreamland. Then also found another Sonic game, Sonic fan game, Sonic Rollers 2. Trying to get into familiar things. The thing, Sonic just was keep going and going. Sonic and started to do the stuff like Sonic Generations, but just the levels. Then I did Sonic, the Sonic Advance 2 and Sonic Advance 3. Uh, and finally, like I just got myself like the desire uh, with Sonic Frontiers that I used it to do only individual levels of Sonic Frontiers because I didn't feel like I was able to the task of doing an full run of the game. And then I just decided, well, once I got the game for PC, I decided to put my hands on it and actually learn the game and I had a blast. Actually, is is the game where I most category of I run. Like if you go to my profile, you see like Sonic Frontiers is the game I have like a gazillion categories on it, almost every single one. Uh, and at some point, I also started with my indie speedrun gaming because I remember playing a game that made Battle Block Theater. Really silly game, really funny game, simple platformer, just collect three gems and go to the goal and beat the stages. As simple as that. And I enjoy that simplicity. I learned how to speedrun it, and I didn't feel like wanted to grind it though because it's also a very hard game, platforming wise. But I got that time I feel nice with it and moved on. Of course, more Sonic, more Sonic. And finally, like we're at the moment where I run. I'm currently learning. Uh, well, of course, that's this anime indie game that also popped out, and and become like familiar with the Japanese community for a moment. And finally, uh, and yeah, and the last game is definitely on my timeline that is Hollow Knight because even if I don't like Metroidvanias, that I there's the aspect of platforming and boss fights that I really enjoy that game that make me got the inspiration and desire to run it because I think like I want to push myself to see how fast I can do these bosses.
Hmm.
That is where currently it's said the list that's the list of my adventures. I'm funny. Of my adventures on the on every single speedrun. Well, not every single, but most of them.
Hmm. And so this has been like 8 or 9 years now. That all took.
Yeah, 9 years. 9 years this October since I did my very first speedrun.
Wait, same.
Yo,
October 2017.
yeah,
Oh
October
my god.
2017.
I was kidding when
Th-
I said we were like the same, but no, that's exact. What the? Okay.
It's like
Huh.
fate. Now I actually know that a lot of people are like around these years are getting to 10 years, and that's very cool. It's like seems like a lot of us got inspired from 2017, probably from GDQ, probably for something else, but seems like there is this
Yeah.
spark on that
Uh,
year.
for me it was well, for me specifically it was summoning salt, but I know content creation really paved the way around that time for getting more people interested. I know a lot of people got into GDQs like, in the few years before then, but yeah, I wasn't part of that crowd personally. But I know they still bring in people. I mean, obviously it worked on you. Granted, that was a while ago now, but wow, I didn't know we started in the exact same month. So talking this whole time, making jokes when they were real the whole time. Yeah, I have a screenshot somewhere where I can like um show like the exact first day I like did a stream. I'll have to find that. Imagine the same day,
My,
just a 1 in 31
yeah, my, my,
chance.
my first stream is. Okay, yeah. Let's just keep it like that. Let's just not get
No, it's
disappointed by
same
just not
time.
matching the day.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's exactly the same time. Let's just keep.
that's fun. It's cool that we got into it in different ways too, um, despite starting at the same time, but and from completely different locations on the planet Earth.
uh, Worldwide.
Worldwide, we're back. Uh, um, I know we talked a bit about marathons, but I was gonna specifically. I usually bring up like marathon runs that you've done, um, specifically. I know you talked about a little bit, but uh,
Yeah.
like just more detail about like what the games and categories were and what events specifically, and when doesn't have to be
Yeah.
everything, but just whatever is notable.
Yeah. Of course, my first marathon run, I ran Sonic Adventure in the X. We It was a race. I lost, but I still remember that time because it was when everything started. It was when that spark of me wanting to showcase and inspire someone else as I was inspired before by Critical Seed. It just started there.
Mm-hmm.
Then my first English marathon, that is when I decided to went worldwide.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, and the Sonic Speed 2020 with the same game actually, Sonic Adventure,
Mm-hmm.
because the submissions that at that moment Oingos didn't exist. I feel old saying that. I feel like a grandpa. But in that moment Oingos didn't exist, and that marathon was you have to meet to that marathon through speedrun.com. That old,
Oh.
that old is, and I decided to submit like from last moment because it was just a few hours to close and
Mm.
freak it, we bought it,
Yeah,
and it
it
got
worked.
accepted. It worked. Um, Another marathon that I it was marathon run that was very enjoyed is the the Mars 2, the Argentinian marathon, the second edition of the marathon, because I was part of the organization, but also it
Oh,
was yeah. Yeah, I used to organize the marathons from Argentina. There I used to be a staff.
that's cool.
Uh,
Surprised,
it was fun.
surprised that hadn't been brought up yet.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not something to
I
you
know,
just
but
like,
like
hey,
I find like the behind the scenes
I
work
got
of
it.
marathons actually quite fascinating.
Oh
As
yeah, like even if
recently I've
from
had
like
so many like GDQ employees or like hosts or whatever on and just talking about all the work that goes on in the background. And obviously GDQ is a lot compared to other events, but I don't know. I always find like the behind the scenes work, like, the unsung heroes of events. I like that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. In the end, that marathon, like it was a huge success, and I had the pleasure to end the marathon uh with a showcase of stamina of me running 3 games back to back.
Hmm.
I was so tired at the end, even if I was just me playing video games. But I really like it, doing that. That it also got repeated at some point in the last Sonic Speed event, where since the schedule was a little bit there was a tiny gap of runners that couldn't make it, but I could make it, so the organizer put me either in, and I just said, yeah, it's happening again, and and I was able to do it. Uh, Even if like it's the same runner, I like to do those because it's not only it's the fact that it's the same runner, but also it's are completely different games.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember starting with Sonic Adventure, then the next game Sonic Sonic 3, and then the next thing was Sonic Heroes. Three completely different games that play in a completely different ways, and no one has to do anything with the other.
Hmm. Variety.
Uh, I think my favorite one, actually my favorite one was this time where I was able to run into this little GDQ hotfix event, of course, of Sonic. I
Oh, is
run
it one of
Sonic.
Amber's?
Yeah, I say one of Amber's and Hypnotics event.
Yeah, I
The
remember
Sonic and
those.
the something.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, and I feel nice. I got Sonic Heroes into him because it felt closer to my dream of going to an in-person GDQ. Just like
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
my first speed
you're on the
game.
GDQ
It's my
channel.
first speed.
Can't get much
Yeah,
closer than that.
yeah. It's so I decided to just go with my first speed game, Sonic Heroes. Um, I also had even if it's not something, but I also have the enjoyment to bring person that the person that inspired me to do it as my commentator. So it feels so like everything, every single piece just started to go together in a very nice way,
It
to
all
the
came
point that
full circle.
yeah, to the point that even if the run was really bad for my current standards, of course, the run was funny to see. I saw people in the chat very having a lot of fun. But even if for my current standard run was really bad, for the standard of showcasing, it was really fun. It has a special place in my memories because of that. It came into a full circle, of course.
Mhm.
This next marathon I have into the study for the future, where Supersonic is organizing.
Mhm.
Uh, so
Oh yeah, did you mention what
I
game you're
believe,
doing?
yeah, I'm going to do the 100% of Pizza Tower and the
Ah.
100% of Sonic Advance 3. Yeah,
Mhm.
and I I really like this idea because uh, Pizza Tower in marathons never had the handle has never been shown before into event setting
Mm.
because it's very risky and it's very long. But I wanted to do it because I really like the category. I really like the competitions category. I really like how it plays and how cool it looks. And the same with Sonic Advance 3. Well, it's not that, but it's not that the category wasn't showed before. Actually, there was a GDQ hotfix where that category was shown. Uh, but then it's one of my favorite runs overall because it just looks cool and plays cool itself. And I really have this thing where I want to showcase at least one of my speed games in marathons, you know?
Mhm. No, you have a pretty good track record so far. A lot of variety, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Even sometimes like showcase Kirby. I'm also planning to showcase more Kirby at some time. Uh, uh, Also like showcased Sonic Frontiers, that the game I said I didn't feel like I was able to fit the criteria or the illusion of being good at the game to a full game run. I then show it on a marathon, like stuff like that.
well, there will be plenty more of them, hopefully. I don't see marathons dying down anytime soon, so
Real.
yeah. Um, well, I think I've pretty much gone over everything I usually go over on these. So, talked about your full history, some game stuff. We went worldwide a few times. Marathon runs. Specific like
Uh,
marathon work. Um, yeah, I mean, if I missed something, you can let me know.
nah, nah,
But
I think we already covered it. I think we already covered it all. I'm just a simple guy, and also like just to throw the Easter egg there, like the fact that my name is NachoTheAdventurer is because I mainly since I've mainly focused on Sonic 3D games. They are called the Adventure era, so Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes, Sonic 06, even the Sonic Advance games, they are from the Adventure era. So and those are the most games I run. So yeah, it just fits.
yeah, it fits. Unlike me, where I have GT in my name, but I speedrun Mario. Whoops. Oh well. I'll never hear the end of that one. But see, you made yours work. That's good. But yeah, I guess that's everything. Well, the last thing I always ask then to wrap this up is obviously you have that marathon coming up next week, so there's that. But future plans other than that in terms of either marathons, just streaming, speedrun, stuff you haven't done but want to, anything like that.
Yeah, with speedrun, it's just like I want to focus on Hollow Knight, the true ending, because after this marathon, because of course it came out of nowhere that I got accepted, and I have this thing of me learning new games before marathons. I want to, and I want to focus on that a little bit, get a nice time. I really liked about that. Of course, at some point, being good enough to win, to do justice in a marathon. And streaming wise, I don't usually currently stream speedrun attempts. In this case, I'm focused on another kind of challenge that is not speedrunning, that is this challenge runs on Pokemon, the hardcore Dustlock thing, but that's not the topic. I like doing that, and and if you just want to see me trying to do math homework in a children video game, and yeah, you can do that. But if not, if you want to just see me playing video games faster, uh, YouTube channel, there it is.
Well, luckily I have all of
And
those things linked.
yeah,
So there you go.
yeah, that's just that. I don't have too much to say rather
That's fine.
than
Um,
that regarding to speedrunning.
well, speaking of shouting out, you can. actually shout out your channels.
Oh wait, that's my channel. I see it on
I
the chat.
know. I'm good. I know what commands to use and win. I hope. Yes, I will have all the links. They're on screen, but they'll also be in the YouTube description. So there you go. We did it, chat. Um,
Yeah.
is that
I was about
everything?
to say it and I was about to say it and be picky. Oh, you forgot my Don't Step Around channel, but no, that's just being mean.
You're what?
You know the chat the second channel where you just dump your rants because you don't want them to be in the main channel.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. The second channel, the alt, the dumping
The alt
ground.
account the
Yes.
alt account where you just like I did this run, I don't care enough about it to be in the main channel.
Ah, well, if it's the garbage dump, why link it, right? It's unimportant.
Yeah,
No.
real.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's all for my part. Like just keep going, having funny, silly adventures on the way
mm, it's a
and
reference to
enjoy
the name. I get it.
doing stuff.
Get it.
Yeah,
Ah,
it's my brand. It's my brand.
branding, that's important. All right. Well, I guess that's everything. Um, so I guess I can wrap things up. Well, first of all, thank you for coming on the show and doing it on short notice because I had my fun. Couldn't find a guest until the last minute, as per the usual. So, but I was happy to discuss Sonic and Worldwide. Oh, the two constants of the episode, clearly. Um,
Yeah.
Also, to the viewers, I apologize if I looked tired as hell. It's because I am. Sleeping is hard sometimes, but hopefully I wasn't terrible at my job. Anyway, um, I think that's everything. Just making sure. You can never be too sure, but I think we're good.
Yeah, that's everything for my part. I don't have too much to say.
All right, then I think we did it, chat. I think we can call this a success and move on. So I will end the episode now. Thank you for watching, and um, my next episode will be streamed in a couple days, but it'll be released um, next Sunday on YouTube when I'm out of town for PAX because I have a run at PAX East on the GDQ stage. Yay! So,
Yeah.
yeah, this is the last time I can shout out myself before that happens. So I gotta make that count, I guess, and then it'll be outdated forever. But it's fine. Anyway, so we both have marathon runs coming up. Go watch them. Yeah, self promotion. I'm so good at my job. All right, clicking the button for real now. Bye. Bye. Mudkip says bye as well.